this actual ticket has been decided that I'm going to sing, so here we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Adam Cole and the babies. 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 That was great. Good party for life. Good party for life.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a great weekend and an even better start to their week. This is THS Wrestling presents That Wrestling Show. My name is John, and I'm here. I'll tell you that much. We'll get into that in a minute. And I'm joined by a man who will be co-hosting this show with me, and then will unfortunately have to be spending more time with me immediately after the show as we record my Doctor Who podcast. Neeson, how are you?
Unfortunately, I don't think you understand how excited I am to talk about Doctor Who.
We're excited to have you.
With a long time Doctor Who fan and aficionado. You, sir. You. So yes. I am beyond excited.
And my co-host Taylor, he's been watching since it was on PBS.
Ooh.
So he's been around for a minute. So that's for another time, and by another time I mean in about an hour and a half. But I am here, folks. I am here. I have a ice pack on my back, and I am doing what I can.
Were you playing softball?
My back went out on Sunday, and it's been a struggle.
Were you?
No, just one of those sleeping in the bed wrong things, and then waking up and being like, oh, and then it getting worse as the day went on, and here we are. So we're on the road to recovery, I think. But Neeson, how are you doing?
Brother, I am fantastic. I think I really kicking in the summer. I feel like, once June gloom hits, summer hits, they got sundress season, and also you got NXT Women's Division season, and those things coincide. It's like, what are we doing? Like what do we do to get blessed with it's just so much positivity in there,
Yeah, we're living pretty well right now. I mean, on our recap, we don't have a Battleground recap, but I will say that women's ladder match was pretty dang great.
The women's ladder match was that. I mean, to me, that stole the show. The women's ladder match and the Jordynne Grace Roxy match. I feel like Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace should have main evented that pay-per-views, that PLE. But also, I think the fact that they should never do a PLE in that building again should also main event. Like, whatever it takes for the idea for us for that never to happen, let's make that happen. That venue was terrible, trash, garbage, hot pack of ass.
Yeah, not great. Not great, especially with the ladder match. I was looking at it and I went, these ladies don't have a lot of room to do anything, and somebody could get seriously hurt. Not just them, but the crowd. The crowd's like right there.
Right. I mean, Booker T got flipped on his ass. Like, like the announcers are right there. I thought Lash Legend, that was a scary spot, her getting tossed over onto the ladders, and it was such a small area. But also, clearly she was fine because she may have landed on that ass, but that ass was bouncing on Trick right after at the club. So it was a time for the NXT roster in Vegas for sure.
Yes, it absolutely was. So we're gonna be talking about Neeson messaged me earlier today and said, hey, what if we did wrestlers like but as a superhero like X-Men style team. I said, done, let's do it. So that's what we're going to close the show out with, but we're going to circle back around here. We got some other stuff we want to talk about. And I think one of the first okay. But I think one of the first things we should discuss is old Ricochet apparently told the WWE, I'm out. Is that cool? And they were like, sure. So he is officially gone. And I mean, they made no if, ands, or buts about it. He is definitely he
Is
got
he
the
though?
old stretcher treatment. You think he's coming back?
Okay, so hear me out. And I thought I was just tripping last night because I was like, man, they literally like he literally gave his back on the way out to go to Wednesdays. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, why would you have Samantha go with him if he's on his way out? Like, why would that be? Why would we play the sympathy card? It's not like Samantha's going anywhere. And so why would it be like, oh, let's remind you that Samantha is his fiance.
Yeah.
So now you're sending him off. And this is not the Dean Ambrose, John Moxley thing where it's like we're reminding everybody that Dean Ambrose is Renee Young's husband, right? We're not
Right.
doing, but they did that on a goodbye, Dean Ambrose, goodbye. This wasn't that. This wasn't a goodbye. This was a you got your ass beat so bad where your fiance is going to the thing. Which so it to me, it was a little like, okay, is he going away for a while and coming back with bigger anticipation, and then maybe him and Braun Breaker could do something on a bigger scale? Or is he just leaving? But then what do they do with the Samantha factor? It's like, well, last week your fiance got carted to the hospital, but welcome back to work. Now on with the show, folks. Like, like how does that happen?
I mean, I almost feel like you're gonna have Braun say something to her or like get in her face or something, and somebody's gonna come out and be like, "Whoa, that's way too far," and then that'll be our next feud. But
But that person won't get the heat. Like, that's my thing. Like, because everybody's gonna be like, that's not even your fiance. Like, she has a fiance.
yeah, I don't know. I just, I mean, Ken says he's definitely coming back. He's just taking some time off. I mean, is that really what we're thinking here?
Well, because his contract wasn't up until August anyway, right? Until
Right.
summer. So I'm like, I think it said like it was like quote unquote 180 days like left or something like that.
Right.
Maybe if I'm not mistaken. So there is time for that to
Yeah.
happen, for them to come up with a new contract. So, and if you are going to come up with a new contract, that's how like Ricochet was more over than he's been on the main roster since like last night. So
Yeah.
if that's what's going to happen, I think this is the best way to do it. Now, it's wild that he has to get long darted next to Hogan, who was the last person involved in a long dart against a trailer during a
Right.
and we just got reminded of it last week during a Who Killed
Yes.
WCW thing, So shout out to the writers that's watching all the things that we're watching.
Yeah.
But it's just too it's just, I don't know, it's too coincidental. It's too coincidental. And so I'm not saying he's gonna. I know I said like they threw him to Wednesday, but once I start thinking about it, I was like, seems like he's coming back, and it seems like he's gonna be more over, or at least he hopes to be more over than ever. So let's
I mean, we'll see. I
either way.
honestly would not be surprised if they run it back, if they run back Osprey Ricochet in 2024.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be either. I just think, look, will Ricochet, will good old Ricky O, Ricky, will Ricky be great in AEW? Yes. Will he be in a top card, like sniffing around main event? Yes. Will Will Ospreay and Ricochet go hard at Wembley? Yes. All these things are true. But one thing about it is he's gonna have to do he could do that. He's gonna have to do that style every single time, or not have to. He's gonna want to do that style every single time he's on AEW television, instead of spreading it out in WWE and actually telling more stories. And I mean, that's something that's gonna have to weigh on it as well. So hey, do you go balls out while you still have the capability to do it every single night, or do you spread those across and have a longer, a potentially longer career?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I guess as of right now, he's just taking a break. I didn't know his contract wasn't up till August, so technically he's still under contract. I get, or no? They were just like, "That's fine, you can go."
You said with who?
With Ricochet, they were just like, "He's like, I want my release."
No, well, yeah, no, he didn't get. Well, at least from the reports, he didn't get released. He just got written off TV when he said he wasn't going to resign his. He didn't have
Right.
interest in
Okay, so
signing his
that's what it
contract.
is.
Yeah, so he got written off. That's why. But they still have X amount of days
Yeah.
if he signs a contract.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that. All right. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, I heard. We had a segment with all of the ex AEW guys being like, "Hey, we're here now." Um, and
All
then
the ex
also Brian
AEW.
Pillman Jr. is like, "I'm here too, guys," and they were like, "Yeah, okay." I'm sure that's not how it went, but
Yeah, no. So Cody Rhodes came out. Cody Rhodes, then Trick interrupted him, and then he ended up telling Trick, "Hey, I have an announcement that your next challenger will be determined next week in
Battle Royal.
a battle royal." And then Cody Rhodes says, and it will be people from other locker rooms in that battle royal. Now, we already know it's gonna be people from Raw or SmackDown, right? Like that's gonna be. It's
Yeah,
not just gonna be NXT people. Um, I don't. I'm interested to see who's the quote unquote surprises are gonna be.
gotta be
That
Hendry. Gotta be. It's
I
gotta
did
be.
not think of that.
Come on, man. Let's do it.
A TNT, a TNA, star. Yeah, I mean, or what if you bring AJ Francis?
That'd be fun.
What if you bring AJ Francis to NXT? Like some,
Well, you could,
or
but you could also continue that storyline of
with
AJ
Jay Hendry.
Francis showing up and Joe Hendry showing up,
I mean, they just did
and
it
him
with
being
Jordan
like, "Come
Grace,
on,
right? Yeah, they just did it with Jordan Grace, right? Like with Jordan Grace and uh Dana Brooke,
Ash by Elegance."
as by yeah, she was like, that's Dana. I mean, Ash by Elegance. That's what he said on the commentary. It was great.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so they just did that. So let's see. Let's see where that yeah, I completely forgot about that. So that's what he said. Oh, yeah. And then that thing, let's just put this out, full disclaimer. Stop inviting people to cookouts. Just stop. It's okay. Everybody could eat outside picnics at their own place and
yes.
establishments. Let's just stop inviting people to fucking cookouts. Jesus Christ. Like, Trick. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Carmelo was right. Carmelo was right. Um, no, but yeah, I mean, that'll be fun. I'm excited to tune into that. I wish it was a not a battle royal because I feel well. I guess they can do the no, they can make it to where it's still a surprise because usually when I think of battle royal, everyone's just in there already.
Right.
But I assume we'll have most of them in there and do some all the surprises. Will get entrances before it actually
Shenanigans.
starts, and
Yeah, I
someone will
think
say his name.
I believe in Ginger. Yeah, that'd be great. That'll be great. You know what? Let's go.
Yeah.
But does he win? As I said,
No.
maybe AJ Francis has to cost him a victory, and I would love to see AJ versus Trick, and just the
That'd be
promos. And
fun.
really, I would love that. I would love that. Man, I
Yeah,
would
I would
love
be
that.
fine with that.
Let's go. NXT is fun, man.
NXT is
now,
fun.
now I feel like they may be jumping the shark a little bit. They're approaching it. They're approaching.
Well, what makes you say that though?
Oh,
Like
I
with
don't know.
what?
Maybe Shawn Michaels twerking on TikTok, or maybe Shawn Michaels
Well,
and Jordan Grace and and uh and Sexy Red doing sketches where Shawn Michaels actually has on a chef hat and says Chef Michaels. Like, those things are fun when you don't
I think
acknowledge.
though. Yeah, but those are for. Were they like on NXT? Because I did not watch NXT tonight. But were
No,
they
they were
like?
not on
Did anybody
NXT.
see that? So I mean, I know what you're saying, but I feel like if it's for social media and we're not really like doing it, like if Shawn Michaels shows up with a chef's hat on TV, then I'll be like, okay.
Okay, so I hear that, and I feel you on that. My comment to that is, what about when it's flipped, right? When they say, "Oh, Ricochet and Ali had great social media promos, and this was amazing, and it was
Yes.
on social media," and everybody's like, "This should be on TV," and they're like, "Nah, but it's cool because it's on social media and it's trending on social media."
Fair
So,
point.
like, we that's my thing. It's like we got to be really careful on what we're doing, because just
Yeah.
because it's on social media doesn't mean it's not getting more eyes than the television
Right.
show is. You see what
That
I'm
true.
saying?
Very true.
So
Very true.
yeah, I think I just feel like we're approaching there, and it's that one moment where, remember, we're watching the WCW doc episodes right now. By the way, I loved the first episode. I felt it was
First episode was
very
great.
it went fast. It was like they had different spins on things, and if that was the first episode, holy shit, I can't wait to see the remaining episodes.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but we see when WCW jumped the shark, right? Like, let's still stay in that cool but like edgy and not chinky lane.
Yeah.
Everything has to be balancy, and let's balance it out. Let's get some Libras on the scale. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I get it. I get it. Makes sense. Makes sense. Uh listen, if we
Yeah.
thought this was a slow build for Dom and Liv, they definitely were like, let's yada yada half of this. Let's get to the good part, I guess.
If you wanna
Where
come to my hotel, baby, I'll give you the room key. I can't
um
sing it.
I
That's
I did love when he's like, she gave me her hotel room key and puts it down on the table, and everyone in the Judgment Day, including is Carlito in Judgment Day
Carlito.
now?
Hey, he did the fist. He
He
did the
got the
fist.
fist bump. Yeah,
He
I
got
saw
the fist
that,
bump. I think he's in. I think he's in.
which is fine. I'm down with that. That makes sense to me.
Me too. Me too. I'm with
Um,
it. I
I
get it.
did
I
love
get
that
it.
he was like, "That's cool." And he's like,
Cool.
"No, it's not
Oh
cool."
yeah. Not cool. Yeah, it's not cool. Not cool.
And then we have Liv coming out during the match, falling on top of Dom. Boy, oh boy, guys.
Dominic Mysterio has to have the strength of 1,000 angels. I don't. That man must be saved. He must be bathed in holy water. He must be. I mean, what else it takes to be holy? Because I'm gonna tell you, a he's stronger. He's a better man than me. He's a better
He
man
is,
than
yeah.
every man that I know, minus Pingle. Pingle is a saint and a scholar and a gentleman, and he's nowhere near on the side of the pendulum that the rest of us heathens are. Okay. But other than that, Dominic Mysterio, the line, it's a whole DMX video popping out outside of my window right now. Dominic Mysterio, if a woman says you need to be with somebody that calls you daddy and then puts their hotel key in your pants, hey man,
My God.
hey,
I will
like
also say I
a
did
bed
love
sheet, like a
when
bed
he was
sheet.
when he was talking to all of them, and he kind of sits back in his chair, and they have that Judgment Day. I think it's a poster or whatever, and
Yeah.
literally like over his shoulder is Rhea Ripley. It's just a great. It's a great shot. It's just we're making TV here, y'all.
How lucky is Dominic Mysterio? Like, how lucky is Dom right now? Like, just think, like, the man is married outside of the WWE, and
Yes.
inside of the WWE, this man is in an entanglement. Dom is in an entanglement.
Yeah.
He is Will Smith. Well, actually, he's Jada Pinkett. The man's Jada Pinkett. He's just trying to find
Yes.
peace in life. And he got Will Smith and August Alsina, but he got Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley just right there. And he's
Wild,
like,
man.
no,
No, stop.
no, stop.
He's
Get my
that
room
Willy
key,
Wonka
please.
meme. No, stop. Come back. That's
and
him.
Finn Balor Finn Balor taking a room key and putting it in his pocket and walking away.
Is that who took it?
Well, at the end, so he like takes it when he like puts it down and he's like, yeah. And walks away.
Oh my God, dude.
And so here's my thing. Is Finn Balor gonna be the real love interest between Liv Morgan and is that going to be the love interest? Like, is that how it's going to turn? Because Finn Balor has been blocking Dominic Mysterio this whole time. And then he's the one to take the key off the table.
I've heard some rumors about young Fergal.
Oh, what's the rumors?
Not recently. I meant when he was younger, not now.
Oh, well, yeah.
No, not now.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole joke on Talking Shop was Fergal. Anyway.
Good old Prince. And I don't think they called him Prince for no reason.
They did not. So yeah, something to keep your eye on. Well, I guess if you're thinking that is the key now, is maybe
Dylan,
Finn's the one.
I would not put that up. I'm not putting that comment up.
I'm at this point, I'm like, what is Liv's end game? Because last week we were sure she just wants to watch the world burn, but now if it's actually a swerve, bro, and she goes to Finn, what do we do?
This is interesting.
I think he means with
this.
I think he means with ladies.
Man.
New old Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I maybe this is it. Like, it's the crack, right? She's cracking the Judgment Day, and she's just doing it to get under Rhea's skin. And then she's like, I don't want Dom. Dom is a nobody to me. Who's Dom? Like, who I want? Finn. He's the one that should have been a leader. He's the one that should have been. He's the one. Like, maybe that's where we go.
Maybe.
That'd be dope for Finn, though.
That would be an interesting wrinkle to this.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So our favorite thing ever is coming up this weekend.
Oh yes.
It is early morning weekend wrestling. Hopefully it's not too early. What time is it at? Do you know what time it is for us?
It's probably like 9 for us.
That's great. Love it. Perfect.
Yeah. I love
Clash in the Castle. Scotland. We got 5 matches. And we've been building them pretty good. And we're gonna make some predictions, and we would love for you in the chat to also make those predictions. It's 3 a.m. Clash for me. Oh boy.
Get it sexy. Bow, bow, bow. 3 a.m. Oh man, Dylan, look, you like you said last week, you get SmackDown every Saturday morning. Okay, you are blessed every single week with Saturday morning wrestling. I envy you.
Goodness.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Folks, I'm doing the best I can at this moment in time. Is basically what's happening here. Okay, so let's CM Punk should not return.
Ooh.
I think he should be done with wrestling.
Oh, all right.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Oh gosh.
No, we'll see. If honestly, if this next run doesn't go well for him, I would not be surprised if he's like
Hall of Fame.
That's it for me. Anyway, let's go down the list here. We've got 5 matches.
Doesn't this feel like an old just black and gold takeover? 5 matches.
It does. Yeah,
let's
just
go.
5 matches. Let him breathe. Let him have some time. So we have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill taking on Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and also Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I mean, they retain, right? There's no way, unless we want to do they retain. Yeah,
they retain.
They absolutely retain. I cannot see. Honestly, I think there's like maybe one title I see changing hands, but we'll go through it here. Bayley versus Piper Niven for the WWE Women's Championship. Bayley retains. I don't really think it's nice that we're giving the shine to people when they return home. Yeah. I think that's great. But I don't really see anybody changing hands here. I mean, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable I could see that, but I know Chad Gable is going to be without contract. So depending on that situation, I also really think like Chad Gable has some heat there. I think that could be really good.
So let's get a clear answer so we could like chop it. So what's the clear? So who do you got?
I think in Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, I think Sami retains. That's what my heart says.
Okay.
That Sami continues his Intercontinental Championship reign. What says you?
I got Chad Gable winning. And not only do I got Chad Gable winning, I got the turn happening for the Brodus, for the Creed brothers. I think he gets win with the help of the Creed brothers. I do think Otis turns on Chad Gable and leaves him and just says, I'm done with this. But I think Chad ultimately comes up with the victory through the Creed brothers. And I think we get the Creed brothers versus the old Alpha Academy moving forward.
Okay. I like that. Ivy will kill Maxine at Clash. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. Jeezy, crazy.
Bow. Yeah.
All right. We have for the undisputed WWE Championship in an I Quit match, we have Cody Rhodes defending against the phenomenal AJ Styles. I mean, Cody's winning this.
Yeah, I think I Quit match, it's very interesting, because it's kind of like, where do we go from here? But I'm interesting, and I take Cody for sure. I feel Cody's reign is really just beginning once we get into the summer.
Okay. Yeah, it does kind of feel like more like where does AJ Styles go from here, right?
Right. But maybe does he go to
Oh,
NXT?
or as Ken has
Yeah.
suggested,
Yes, there our TNA Slammiversary. That'll be hot.
that would be great.
Bow.
That would be a lot of fun. And then I'm assuming the main event, it has to be
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre challenging Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. All of Judgment Day is barred from ringside.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think it matters. Well, I think it does matter. I mean, or does it? Honestly, I think Punk shows up and fucks it up again and becomes the most hated man in Scotland.
Does Punk fuck it up, or does Liv save Damian Priest?
Ooh.
So I feel like, because the bigger story, like if you put Liv Morgan as a champion, Damian Priest as a champion, your bigger story is going to be Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. And so
Yes.
how can you help kind of tell that story if Liv Morgan with Liv Morgan coming in and possibly helping out Damian Priest, which you think she's there to destroy the Judgment Day. But no. She's not there to destroy the Judgment Day. She's there to help the Judgment Day. I do
Yeah.
think we may see CM Punk at some point. But I think it'll probably be after. Like after when Drew McIntyre loses, CM Punk comes in and just
Okay.
gives him a good old GT
Nighty night.
and then says best in the world, like one of those, and that's it.
Right.
Why not both? As Dylan
Why
said.
not both? Liv and Punk. Phil
AJ
and
Lee,
Liv get involved.
Look, AJ Lee on anything, I'm in. I am in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I'm in.
100%. All right. Well, so who do you think? Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest? I just want to get it on record here.
Yeah, I think Damian Priest retains, and I think we start the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud officially going
into the summer.
Going into the summer.
Okay. Well, honestly, I'm excited for this. I think Scotland show is going to be great. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I don't think it'll be longer than 3 hours. So that's great.
No. I think it'll be a good 2.5, maybe 2:45.
We love it.
Yeah, great morning. Get some pancakes, eat an edible. I'm about to have an amazing Saturday morning.
Great Saturday morning.
Anderson .Paak is performing that I get to go to for free on Saturday.
You do? Dude, I
Memphis
love
sponsoring
Anderson
it.
.Paak.
I know you do. I know.
That's so cool. Is he playing in the park?
Maybe that may be it. I will find out for sure.
I know he loves the summer series stuff.
Yeah, I may be, but we're doing a VIP section of it, so it's like
that's cool.
Yeah, so that should be pretty dope.
Very cool. All right,
Great.
Well, Neeson,
let's do it.
You texted me earlier, sent me a voicemail, and was like, "Hey, I want to talk about." Jesus, sorry, folks. I want to talk about if wrestlers were on a X-Men style, or I mean, I feel like you said just if wrestlers were X-Men.
Yeah, well, yes. So I was like, I will frame it. So
yes,
let's cast our X-Men roster as wrestlers, meaning There's always like signature X in whatever iteration there's X-Men. So you can go to X-Men 97, if you will. There's always a kid, new person. So in this case, it's Jubilee or it's Sunspot, right? There's your leader, Cyclops. There's the psychic, Jean. There's the goddess, Storm. There's the teacher or the power, I can't think of the name right now, but there's Professor X. There's the smartest, the genius. There's Beast. There's your rebel, your anger management person, if you will. That's
Right.
Wolverine. You have your playboy, your charismatic playboy. That's Gambit. You always have your charismatic play girl. That's Rogue. Those are always kind of circling around an X-Men roster. So I just thought, hey, out of all the wrestlers, let's cast and basically fill each role of your team of
Okay.
X-Men. So with that said, I think let's start with the kids. So what will be your kid or your newbie member of your wrestling X-Men roster?
So this is like someone who they have just brought in who
Yep.
kind of wide-eyed, bushy-tailed,
Yep.
but has a lot of potential and
Yep.
could be a leader of the X-Men maybe someday
Yep.
or a very big part of the team. I mean,
Yep.
that's Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill as your lead. That's hot. That's hot. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
I think
That's a good
I
one.
think if
Wow.
if you're talking about somebody who's new to like the team,
Wow.
has a lot of potential, could possibly become a big player on the team in the future. I mean, that's Jade Cargill to me.
Wow. I like that one. I like that one. Man, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that one. I'm but on that note and on that same vein, I'm gonna go with Jada Parker. I think
Okay.
Jada Parker will be my kid, will be my wide-eyed bushy tail, but could still handle herself, in a crunch time, and definitely has all the makings to be able to run the team in the future. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Jada Parker for
All right.
my Jubilee spot, if you will.
Okay. I
All
like
right.
it.
So let's go next. So let's go. Who would be your genius of the team? Who is the beast? Who's the guy? Who's the person that could piece things together, make things happen? Oh my stars, figure it out. Who's your beast of the team?
I mean, that's a really hard question. Somebody who's
Mm-hmm.
strong, but is also not just strong physically, strong mentally,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Oh, I already got mine.
is uh maybe doesn't say a whole lot, but does say
Yeah.
meaningful things.
Yep.
Um, boy. Honestly, when you brought this question to me and I thought like who would be my beast, the first person that popped into my head was Big E.
Oh, nice.
Big E was the first
Nice.
person that popped into my head.
So Biggie is your beast. That's a good team. So you
Yes.
got Jade and Biggie so far,
Yes.
right? All right. So my beast, it's if we're talking strength, we're talking genius, we're talking being able to snap the angry streak on, but also just gentle as a giant. I'm gonna go with Cesaro. Or
Ah.
yeah, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna go with Cesaro. I think Cesaro will be the best beast on my team, standing next to Jada Parker, and being
Yes.
able to help guide, but also protecting and also smart as all can be.
Okay.
So I gotta go with Cesaro.
All right. I like it. I like it.
Okay. All right. So next, um, now we're gonna do Playboy Playgirl here. So for your Playboy Gambit S style, who is fulfilling that role?
Gambit. Oh boy. This is This is
Let 'em know
hard.
abilities.
This is a
Yes,
hard
yes,
one.
yeah.
Gambit. Who would be my Gambit
Who
on
would be your
the team?
Gambit?
Kind of a kind of laid back,
Mm-hmm.
but knows what to do when to take care of business.
Yeah. Doesn't
Um,
lack on having a good time, you know?
does not lack on having a good time.
Does not lack on having a
That's
good
that's for sure. I really want to say Orange Cassidy.
Oh, that's
I
a good
think I'm
one.
gonna go with Orange Cassidy on this one.
Orange Cassidy. That is
Laid
a
back,
good one.
but can take care of business when business needs to be taken care of. If we go back, the character was originally like a party guy who's hungover, so he knows how to
Right,
party. Also, I
right,
just saw him balancing a sword on his head this morning.
right.
So he's my Gambit. There we go.
All right. So my Gambit. Now, I'm gonna tell you the two that I was I was wrecking my head against. I was like, man, is it gonna be Ricky Starks or is it gonna be
Ooh.
Carmelo Hayes? And I didn't know which one I wanted to fill the role, and then the obvious answer came to me. Like, I don't know, a whip in the night. It was Tricky from South Philly. It was Trick
Oh
Williams.
my
He's
god.
my Gambit.
Yeah,
Trick
yeah.
Williams is Gambit. The man has a good time. Trick Williams from South Philly. He is there. He shows up and he's willing to put in that work when the time is right. So I gotta go with Trick Willie from South
Lexus
Philly.
King could also Lexus King could also be, as Dylan says in the chat. That could be a good
I
one
think so.
too.
I think Lexus King could be a great Gambit. Yeah, please guys, as we're discussing these, please put your answers in the chat
Yeah.
as well. If you're watching from Twitter, from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitch, whatever you're watching on, please put them in the chat so we can see them. So all right, so we have our kid role, we have our Jubilee casted, we
Yes.
have our Gambit casted, we have our
Yes.
Beast casted. Now we're getting into more of the higher end mutants here. You know, we're getting into another level.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be our Playgirl, our Rogue? Who are you casting as your Rogue?
Oh boy, Rogue. Who would be my Rogue? This is very You know, do you have someone?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna pass for now while I think a little bit more because this
Awesome.
one's a little difficult for me. So Neeson, who would your Rogue be?
My Rogue would be Chris Statlander.
Oh,
So
that's a great one.
Chris Statlander being my Rogue, the power, the finesse, the charismatic, went from an alien to just being a boss that's standing next to Stokely. I gotta go with Chris Statlander because we know she could get nasty when needs be, but also it's all love and she likes being around her friends when she's that way. So Chris Statlander is my Rogue.
Well, I mean, with that description you just said, I mean, I'll take Will Nightingale as my Rogue.
Yep, I knew it. I was battling.
I think you know, having a good time until it's necessary to not have a good time and needs to take care of business kind of has that I mean, Rogue it sometimes kind of has a little bit of a I wouldn't say a full on bubbly personality, but it's there.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
that's what
that southern charm.
it's the Southern Belle, baby.
I think that's what it is. But yeah, I think that's who I would have to go with. I also love
All
that
right.
Dylan's like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm just listening to the descriptions and figuring it out. Well, that's great.
This is what it's about. X-Men. We're either going to get you into X-Men or into wrestling, but assuming you're already into wrestling,
You're already here
watching
for
it, so boom, we're going to get you an X-Men. All right. So, who's going to be your Jean Grey, your psychic goddess? Who is going to be your Jean Grey? She has the power to be a leader. She's also a psychic. She's also the biggest supporter. She's willing to sacrifice herself every single time, no matter what, multiple times. If you guys know X-Men lore, the woman kills herself over and over
like
again.
a million times.
Yeah, just she dies so much. Cyclops gets pissed and says, "I can't watch you die again," and leaves. Like,
yeah,
she keeps dying.
Can't do it.
So, who's going to be your Jean Grey?
Oh my God, who's going to be my Jean
mine.
Grey? Who will be my Jean Grey? Has the ability to be a leader.
Got mine. Let's
has
go. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Has the I guess I guess we could call it mind control powers. The power of persuasion.
Persuasion. Lower expectations.
Can also be was possessed by, the Dark Phoenix at one point. Kind of made her a little evil, made her more powerful. I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss. That will be my Jean Grey.
That's a good one.
I think she does have the ability to be a leader, and maybe we'll see that sooner rather than later, depending on what happens on Raw next week, which feels like it'll be must see. But yeah, I think that, and also being possessed by an evil spirit or being and becoming the newer Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I think that's what that's what we're going with.
Whitney Chu had Nightmare, Nightmare Whitney is her name
Yes.
now, I think. I like that though. So Alexa Bliss is your Jean Grey. Copy.
Yes.
So my Jean Grey, we're talking about somebody willing to sacrifice herself. We talk somebody that rises from the ashes, that becomes stronger and powerful. And some may say, I don't know, a boss, the standard, the blueprint, the GOAT, the queen of the sale, the DDT Mandalorian. God damn it, the draw, the CEO, Mercedes Moné is my Jean Grey. When we talk about standards being risen, when we talk about going out there and just saying, I don't have a spine, do what you like. Every single time she's in the ring, when we talk about, I'm going to just call her Mrs. Rubber Band Woman, because she just keeps bouncing back time and time again. When we should talk about being written off and also taking a woman's independent world by storm and going over to New Japan, holding that title over there, and then coming over to AEW, being the highest paid woman in professional wrestling, raising the bar, or rising from the ashes over and over again. Mercedes Moné has to be my Jean Grey.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
All right. So
cannot argue with that.
Now, who stands next to Jean Grey? Who has a Madeline Pryor in them? Who is sitting beside your Alexa Bliss, besides my Mercedes Moné? Who is your Cyclops, the leader? We're doing the top 3 leaders right now, but who is the male leader of the X-Men on your team, Pingle? I mean,
we haven't gotten to Wolverine yet, but there's a whole lot of times where Wolverine will call Cyclops a Boy Scout.
Yep. The Boy Scout.
He's a man who will He will follow the leader's plans to a T. He believes in the leader. He believes in what is going on. I do love that Mike says Cyclops is the worst, so I guess it's Austin Theory, which fair enough. But I mean, my Cyclops is John Cena, the Boy Scout, the one who will follow the orders, the one who will do what is best for the business of professional wrestling.
Okay.
John Cena.
All right. I'm going to go a little. I'm going to pivot. I was gonna say, just gonna put that out there. I was gonna say Cody Rhodes, but I felt like that was a little bit of a layup. I felt like we were just right under the basket. We're just laying up at that point.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Just here. So I want to go Seth Rollins, and here's why.
Oh,
Seth Rollins is the flag bearer of WWE, right? Like he goes hard. Whatever the leader says, he's going to do. When we talk about, you just said it, best for business, Seth Rollins was the best for business. Yeah. Seth Rollins is the one that CM Punk was going at when they were talking down on WWE. Seth Rollins was the one that was going at Cody Rhodes when he was coming over there. Seth Rollins is the one that keeps holding the flag no matter what for WWE. Whatever AAA said, whatever Vince said, went. No pushback. I'm doing it. He's the leader. And not only on top of that, when we talk about having a moral compass or I want to sacrifice myself for my team, I feel like that's Seth Rollins going out there. We just seen at WrestleMania, had a blown out knee and left everything on the line for the good of the team, for the good of the show. Seth Rollins is my Cyclops.
All right.
So we have two more. We have Wolverine and we have Storm. So the reason why I said that we're saving the last three leaders for last is because I want to save Storm for last. So, your Rebel, your Tasmanian Devil, your Wolverine, your anger management person. Who do you have for Wolverine?
So I immediately saw this and went, I know exactly who I'm gonna have as Wolverine immediately. And then I thought, maybe not. And someone in chat has already said it. But I'm gonna go with Pac.
Yes.
I think Pac or Pac, however you want to say it, is my Wolverine. He's an angry little fucker. And he has trust issues, but he does trust some people. He trusts few and far in between. So I think Pac is a good Wolverine pivot from Moxley, who I was originally going to say, but also Ilya Dragunov isn't a bad one either. Neeson, how about you?
Ilya Dragunov was my first pick. That's who I was going to go with, but I decided to go a little more, I don't know, a little more Steiner, a little more Breaker. And go Braun Breaker as my Wolverine, because just for the fact of this man has been destroying people, and especially Ilya and Ricochet on Monday nights, coming through the crowd, skirling. You have your authoritarian figure telling, don't do that. He's like, do whatever, bub. And then he's going out there and spearing the living daylights out of Ricochet. I have to go with Braun Breaker as my Wolverine. And plus, I think Braun Breaker's the type to just not care if Jean is married and is like, I don't care. I want her. Like, what does it matter? I don't care. Like, Wolverine is the problematic one in this situation as I got older. And I feel like Braun Breaker could be the problematic one here. So, so I go with Braun Breaker. So our last one, and I saved, when we talk about leaders and we talk about Omega level threats, we have to talk about the Storm. Who is going to be your Omega level threat, your goddess, your one of a kind, your world bending, weather controlling, once upon a time, princess of or queen of Wakanda, Aurora Storm.
So I also, with all of that entailed, I also see Storm as someone who people go to for advice.
Yes. Easy
When
to
they don't
talk
want to go
to.
to Cyclops and they don't want to when they don't want to go to anybody else who's an authority figure, they go to Storm because they know Storm will be soft with the touch
Yes.
in giving advice,
Yes.
but will know when to pick it up when business is about to pick up.
Yeah.
And when business does pick up, there's nobody who does it quite like Storm. So Bianca Belair is my Storm.
Yep.
Bianca Belair is my Storm. That feels 100% correct for me. Did we both go with well, I can't pick Jade because Jade is Jade was my new kid on the block. But also I feel like it couldn't be Jade because Storm is someone people go to for advice and stuff like that. And she's a seasoned vet on this team. Not saying that Bianca Belair is a seasoned vet, but she might as well be. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Are we in agreement?
I say Bianca Belair for all of the reasons. And when we talk about having your own team and potential leadership, like we talked about with Jubilee, with the new kid on the block that has the potential to leading something, I think Storm is the perfect person that can lead a team easily, but not only chooses not to, but knows that her power lies more not in the designated role as a leadership, but into spreading that leadership and empowerment out on a bigger scale, not worrying about the logistics and all those things. It's more like, I'm a vibes person. I'm a leader of vibes. Like, you need that vibes person. And Storm is that vibe person. So for sure, I got to go with Bianca Belair for that, because you could tell she's a leader in all aspects. But
there you go.
She doesn't want the title. She doesn't need the title. She's not crying for the title. She's not worrying, oh, can I do this and live up to this title? No,
yeah.
She's Storm, the goddess. Sweet. Well, so just so we clarify, my team, before we get into Professor X and Magneto as the last two, just as
oh yeah,
authoritative figures. So for my team, my up and comer, my Jubilee, I'm gonna have Jaden Parker. For my Beast, I'm going to have, oh shit, what did I say?
Cesaro.
Oh yeah. So Jubilee, Jada Parkin, Beast, Cesaro. My Gambit, I'm gonna have Trick Willie from South Philly. My Jade, or my Jean Grey, I'm gonna have Mercedes Monet. My my Cyclops, I'm gonna have Seth Rollins. My Wolverine, I'm gonna have Braun Breaker. That hit them all. Yep. And that's my team for my X-Men. And yours.
All right. So mine, my Jubilee was Jade Cargill. My Gambit was Orange Cassidy.
Nice.
My Beast was Big E.
Nice.
My Rogue was.
I didn't do my
How did I
Rogue.
forget? Oh, my Rogue was Willow Nightingale.
My Rogue was Chris Statlander.
Yes. My Jean Grey was Alexa Bliss. My Cyclops was John Cena. My Wolverine was Pac. And my Storm was Bianca Belair.
I don't know, man. That's a damn good X-Men lineup. And before
I
we
think
end
they're
it off,
both pretty good.
I know that's really great. Before we end it off, before we get out of here, I'm late. Nobody picked Izzy for Jubilee.
No.
Nope. Before we get out of here, who is your Professor X, real quick?
The leader of the team. Oh my God.
I'll tell you mine.
Hold on. It's coming to me. It's gotta be somebody who's, oh man. Who is yours? Let's go with you. Who is yours?
My Professor Xavier of the team is William Regal.
Oh, that's great. That is a great pick. Wow. Honestly, I don't know if I could do better than that. I think I'm in agreement with you that William Regal might be the perfect Professor X because he teaches all the kids.
I have a Magneto as well. So who's your Magneto? Got a good one.
I for some reason want to say Triple H, but I don't think I have a lot of reasoning behind it. It's not as well thought out as I could. Well, I mean, he's not the leader of the X-Men, but once he becomes the leader of the X-Men, he kind of is like, we're gonna do it my way, and it's gonna be better. So yeah, I think with that limited knowledge, and I didn't really think of a Magneto, I think Triple H would be a decent Magneto.
I like that answer. My Magneto is gonna be CM Punk.
Oh my God.
When we talk about a guy that's gonna blur the lines, when we talk about a guy, as you just said, by the way, when I am on that team, it's my way or no way. CM Punk, but still would listen to Professor X and Charles, right? And Charles Xavier, he'll still listen to him, and then he'll still have his own team at the same time. He'll still have his own fellowship. So I gotta go with Mr. Phil CM Punk as
that's actually
perfect Magneto.
That's a really good one. That's really good too. Oh, all right, guys.
Fun.
Well, nobody puts Magneto on the learning tree. Hey, guys. Can you believe they did multiple backstage segments with the learning tree? They're
going in on it.
Oh my Lord.
I believe you.
They're absolutely.
Seth Rollins. I miss Blonde Streak Seth Rollins.
I do too. Maybe he'll come back. Who knows what iteration will come back once he's ready to. All right, guys. That's going to be it for us this week. Neeson, where can the people find you on the internet?
Find me at Stay Fly Life on the internet. Let's talk about Doctor Who. Let's talk about X-Men. Let's talk about Star Wars Acolyte being one of the best Star Wars series that's made. Like, what the hell?
Oh boy.
Let's talk about anything and everything. I'm down to have a chat about. Now, I may not have time, but I will get back to you at some point in time.
He's busy,
Where
folks.
can I find you at, sir?
You can find me everywhere at JP Thrice. That's it's right there. Oh, I pointed the right way this time. It's right there. Hopefully, folks, I will be back to my usual hand gesturing self next week. Thank you for bearing with me. It has been, when I tell you, it's been a rough couple of days.
Sorry,
back wise, it has been a rough couple of days, but we'll get through it, and I'll be my more energetic self next week. Guys, also make sure if you don't watch Doctor Who, that's fine. But Neeson and I, after we hop off here, we're gonna hop right into we're gonna be recording my Doctor Who review podcast, Podcastica. We are over 300 episodes strong.
Let's go.
We're gonna be talking about the latest Doctor Who episode, Rogue. I'm very excited to have Neeson on the show and to talk Doctor Who with him. You
Got
can find that.
questions?
You can find if you just follow Neeson or I on any social media platform, we will be retweeting it. It'll go live tomorrow morning. So, yeah, I got a guy. His name's Taylor, and he does the good work. He's also up super early. So anyway, all right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Make sure you check out that #show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture, and we'll see you guys next week.